The story begins in the 8th century BC. Twin brothers Romulus and Remus founded a small settlement on the banks of the Tiber River. This settlement would become Rome. Legend has it that Romulus killed Remus. Romulus became the first king of Rome. This story, shrouded in myth and legend, marks the beginning of a civilization destined for greatness. Early Rome was a small agricultural society. It was ruled by a series of kings. Some were wise and just, others were cruel and tyrannical. This period saw the development of Roman law, religion, and social structure. The Romans were renowned for their pragmatism, discipline, and military prowess. These traits would serve them well in the centuries to come. Rome's strategic location in the Italian peninsula proved advantageous. It had access to trade routes and fertile land. This facilitated its expansion and eventual dominance over its neighbors. The early Romans, through conquest and alliances, gradually extended their influence over the Italian peninsula. This laid the foundation for the future Roman Republic. This republic would become a dominant power in the Mediterranean world. The Punic Wars, a series of 3 conflicts fought between Rome and Carthage, were a pivotal moment in Roman history. Carthage, a powerful North African empire, posed a significant threat to Roman expansion in the Western Mediterranean. The First Punic War, from 264 to 241 BC, erupted over control of Sicily, a strategically important island. The Romans, adapting their military tactics to naval warfare, ultimately emerged victorious after a long and bloody struggle. The Second Punic War, from 218 to 201 BC, saw the legendary Carthaginian general Hannibal Barca lead his army, complete with elephants, on a daring invasion of Italy. Hannibal inflicted crushing defeats on the Romans in several battles, most notably at Cannae in 216 BC. This victory is still studied in military academies today. However, Rome's resilience and determination prevailed. They refused to surrender. The Romans counterattacked, eventually defeating Hannibal at the Battle of Zama in 202 BC. The Third Punic War, from 149 to 146 BC, was a much smaller affair. Rome, driven by a desire to eliminate any future threat from Carthage, razed the city to the ground and enslaved its population. The Punic Wars marked a turning point for Rome. They transformed from a regional power into a dominant force in the Mediterranean. Their victories came at a cost. These wars took a heavy toll on Roman society, leading to social and economic upheaval. This set the stage for the internal conflicts that would plague the Republic in the following century. The late Roman Republic was a time of great turmoil and change. Military successes abroad brought wealth and power to Rome. However, this also led to corruption, social unrest, and political instability. This period saw the rise of powerful generals like Gaius Marius and Lucius Cornelius Sulla. They used their armies to seize power. This undermined the traditional institutions of the Republic. Into this chaotic world stepped Gaius Julius Caesar, a brilliant military strategist and shrewd politician. Caesar rose to prominence through a series of military victories. He conquered Gaul, which is modern-day France. His victories greatly expanded Roman territory and influence. Caesar's growing popularity and power alarmed the Roman Senate. Many senators viewed him as a threat to the Republic. In 49 BC, Caesar crossed the Rubicon River, the traditional boundary between Roman Italy and Gaul, effectively declaring war on the Roman Senate. This act plunged Rome into a civil war from which Caesar emerged victorious. He became dictator for life. As dictator, Caesar implemented a series of reforms aimed at addressing Rome's problems. He centralized power, reformed the calendar, and granted citizenship to people in Roman provinces. These reforms made him popular with the common people, but alienated the Roman elite. Fearing that he would become king, a group of senators assassinated Caesar on the Ides of March, which is March 15th in 44 BC. Caesar's assassination plunged Rome into another period of civil war. This ultimately led to the end of the Roman Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire. Caesar's assassination sent shockwaves through the Roman world. A power vacuum emerged and different factions vied for control of Rome. Mark Antony, Caesar's close friend and ally, and Octavian, Caesar's adopted son, emerged as the key contenders. The Second Triumvirate, a political alliance formed between Antony Octavian and Marcus Aemilius Lepidus, restored a semblance of order. They ruthlessly hunted down Caesar's assassins and consolidated their power. However, tensions between Antony and Octavian soon came to a head. The final showdown between these two Roman giants took place at the Battle of Actium in 31 BC. Octavian's forces decisively defeated Antony and his lover Cleopatra, the last active pharaoh of Ptolemaic Egypt. This victory marked the end of the Roman Republic and the beginning of the Roman Empire. Octavian, later known as Augustus, became the first Roman emperor. He consolidated his power and ushered in a period of peace and prosperity that would last for 2 centuries. The transition from republic to empire was a gradual process. It spanned several decades and was marked by bloodshed and political maneuvering. The Roman people, weary of civil war and instability, welcomed the stability and order brought by Augustus's rule. The Roman Republic, with its emphasis on shared power and civic duty, gave way to a more centralized and autocratic system of government. This new system proved remarkably stable and effective in maintaining order across Rome's vast empire. The reign of Augustus marked the beginning of the Pax Romana, a period of unprecedented peace and prosperity that lasted for approximately 2 centuries, from 27 BC to 180 AD. During this time, the Roman Empire reached the zenith of its power and influence. It stretched from Britain in the north to Egypt in the south, and from Spain in the west to Syria in the east. The Roman legions, famed for their discipline and effectiveness, maintained order within the empire's borders and defended the frontiers against external threats. The Pax Romana was a golden age for Roman art, literature, architecture, and engineering. Roman writers like Virgil, Horace, and Ovid produced works of literature that are still celebrated today. Roman architects and engineers constructed impressive roads, aqueducts, temples, and amphitheaters across the empire. Many of these structures still stand today, a testament to the ingenuity and skill of Roman engineers. The Pax Romana brought about a period of unprecedented economic prosperity. The vast network of Roman roads facilitated trade and communication across the empire. Roman law provided a stable framework for commerce, and the Roman Empire's common currency, the denarius, facilitated trade and economic integration. This period of peace and prosperity allowed Roman culture and ideas to spread throughout the Mediterranean world, leaving an enduring legacy on law, language, architecture, and government. The Pax Romana, however, was not without its flaws. Roman society remained deeply divided between rich and poor, and the empire's economic prosperity was largely built on the backs of slaves. Despite these flaws, the Pax Romana stands as a remarkable achievement in human history, a testament to the power of a well-organized and efficiently governed empire.